Today's lecture, we are to start with the measures of skewness, moments, and kurtosis. These are very important concepts of measures of central tendency, skewness, movements, and kurtosis. So let us first start with the skewness. As the name suggests, when the data is skewed, we can say that when the data do not reveal the entire story, then there are two comparable comparable characteristics called skewness and kurtosis. In simple words, we can say that when a series is not symmetrical, when a series is not symmetrical, then we can say that it is a symmetrical series or it is a skewed series. So it is a skewed series. So skewness refers to the asymmetry or lack of symmetry in the shape of a frequency distribution. So whenever the series is not symmetrical, obviously it will be asymmetrical. Then we can say that the series is a skewed series or it refers to the asymmetry or lack of symmetry in the shape of a frequency distribution. Then we can say that there is a skewness in the series. So a distribution is said to be skewed when the mean and median fall at a different point in the distribution. This is also very important. When the mean and median falls at different points in the distribution, then we can say that the series is a skewed series. Then the series is a skewed series. Now we can say that the concept of a skewness will be clear from the distributions, type of the distribution. So for this we have a graphical representation of the curves. The first one is a symmetrical distribution. A symmetrical distribution of the series, then the graph will be like this. That this is just like a normal curve, or we can say that it is a normal curve. So this is the mean position, and at the mean position, mean is always equal to median, and it is also equal to mode. So we can say that the distribution is a symmetrical distribution, and it is clear from the diagram that in a symmetrical distribution, mean, median, mode are always coinciding position. The spread of the frequencies is the same on both sides of the mean position or central point. So this is the central point. So the spread of the frequency on left side or on right side is always same. The second one is asymmetrical distribution. Asymmetrical distribution. And for this, the series can be represented like this. Suppose the curve is, we have, this is the shape of the curve. So the mean position is at this point. This is the mean position. You can take. This is the mean position of the series, and your median is at this point. This is your median position, and the mod position at this point. So this is your mod position. It is denoted by m naught. So we can see from the diagram that mean, median, and mod positions are different. So we can say that the series is a skewed distribution, and it is a positively skewed distribution. The third one, uh, this is the second actually. This is not asymmetrical. This is a third one diagram. This is the diagram for a positively skewed distribution, although the data is asymmetrical. So a distribution which is not symmetrical is called asymmetrical distribution, and it is a skewed distribution, and such a distribution could either be positively skewed distribution or could either be negatively skewed distribution. So this is important. Negatively skewed distribution is there. This is the fourth point. So asymmetrical distribution can either be a positively skewed distribution or a negatively skewed distribution. So we can say that this diagram is also for asymmetrical distribution, and it is also for a positively skewed distribution. Now we have the diagram for negatively skewed distribution. So in the negatively skewed distribution, you just reverse this diagram, and your shape of the diagram will be like this. This is your shape of the diagram, and in that case, your mean position comes on the left hand side. So at this point, your mean position, suppose we have this point, and this is your median. So this point is denoted for the median of the distribution, and this represent the mod of the distribution. So whenever we can say that the negatively skewed distribution, in the negatively skewed distribution, the value of mod is maximum because this is the maximum point. And in the positively skewed distribution, you see the mean is maximum. This is the mean. So in a negatively skewed distribution, mod is maximum. So this is the difference. And that of mean least. In negatively skewed distribution, mean has least value, and in the positively skewed distribution, mean has maximum value and mod has least value. So this is the difference between positively and negatively skewed distribution. In positively skewed distribution, mean has maximum value and mod has minimum value. In negatively skewed distribution, mod has a maximum value and mean has minimum value. And the third important point is the median always lies between mean and mod position. So this always exists between. ये दोनों के बीच में आता है हमेशा. मीडियन हमेशा से मीन और मॉड के बीच में आएगा इन दोनों फिगर्स में. सो दिस इज द figure for negatively skewed distribution. Now, there are certain tests for checking the skewness, and we have come to know that skewness में mean, median, mod हमेशा differ करेंगे. They will not coincide, and quartiles are not equidistant from the median. Frequencies are not equally distributed, at points of equal deviations from the mode. When the data are plotted on a graph, they do not give the normal bell-shaped form. Obviously, because bell-shaped form is a symmetrical distribution, so they will not give the bell-shaped form. And it means when cut along a vertical line through the center, the two halves are not equal. So in the skewed or in the skewness of the distribution, if they cut along the mean point along the vertical line, they don't have equal halves. But in the symmetrical distribution, they have equal half on both sides of the mean position. So this is important to know. And there is the absolute skewness formula. We can say that absolute measures of skewness. So absolute measures of skewness can be measured in absolute terms by taking the difference between mean and mode. So absolute skewness is denoted by Sk star, and it is always the difference between mean and mode. So this is the formula for the absolute measurement. When skewness is based on quartiles, absolute skewness is given by the following formula. So absolute skewness in the form of the quartiles, the formula is Q3, this is the third quartile, plus Q1, that is for first quartile, minus 2 times median. So this is another formula for calculating skewness based upon quartile. Now, there are relative measures of skewness. The relative measures of skewness. There are four important relative measures of skewness. The first one is Carl Pearson's coefficient of skewness. This is the first one, relative measure. So the second one is Bowley's coefficient of skewness, and your third formula is Cayley's coefficient of skewness, and the fourth one is the measures of skewness based on movements. This is the fourth one. So we have to discuss these measures, relative measures of skewness. Now, let us come to the question and directly apply the formulas. So the first one is we have calculated the Carl Pearson's coefficient of skewness in the data. Data values are x and the frequency is given to us. X is having value 12.5, 17.5, 22.5, 27.5, 32.5. Next we have 37.5. Then we have 42.5 and 47.5. And the frequency having values 28, 42, 54, 108, 129, 61, 45, and 33. And the sum total of the frequencies, that is denoted by capital N, that is a sigma f equal to 500. This is the sum total. Now can use the change of origin and change of scale method. So for finding out the value by using the change of origin, that is x minus h upon k, this formula is used. This is the formula or technique for change of origin. So this is x minus. How to take h? Now, h is probably can be taken as the mean value or the assumed mean. So, assumed mean, as we have discussed in the previous classes, just see 1, 2, 3 from the top and 1, 2, 3 from the bottom. So, we have two values left, that is 27.5 and 32.5. So, you can assume 1. So in place of H, you can also take capital A. Capital A is for assumed mean. So the assumed mean can be taken as 27.5. Now, K is the difference between the values of X. Now you see the difference between the values of X is of 5. So the value of D can be calculated by this formula and it come out to be minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the sum total, I think it is not needed to us. We need the column FD and there we can calculate FD square. So F into D can be calculated minus 84 minus 84 minus 54 0 129 122 135 and 132. Similarly, we can find out the sum total and the sum total of the values of FD that come out to be 296. Similarly, we can calculate FD square the values of D, then multiply with the values of F. You will have 252, 168, 54, 0, 129, 244, 405, and the last value is 528. And your value of sigma FD square, it come out to be 1780. Now, you can calculate the formula called Pearson's coefficient of skewness. So the coefficient of skewness, that is denoted as SK, and the formula is mean minus mod divide on sigma. Sigma is the standard deviation. And here we have taken the values of assumed mean, that is 27.5, and your capital N come out to be 500, and the difference between the values is denoted by small k or I. So either you can take I or small k. So if you take as a standard, you can also write it as a small I. So small I is also used for the difference between the values, and it can be written as I. So this is a small I. This is the formula for change of origin and change of scale. And scale is 5 here. So that is I equal to 5. And the formula for the mean is actually x bar, that is A plus sigma FD upon capital N into I. This is the formula for calculating mean. So this is 27.5 plus 296 upon 500 into 5, and it come out to be 30.46. So this is your mean. Now you can calculate sigma, that is standard deviation, and the formula is sigma FD square upon N minus sigma FD upon N whole square into I. This is the formula for calculating small sigma. And you can put the values. Sigma FD square is 1780 divided by 500 minus 296 divided by 500 whole square into 5. And the value of a standard deviation, small sigma, is calculated as 8.96. And you can put the values x bar, that is the 30.46 minus. We require mod. Mod means the maximum frequency. Now you just see the frequency column, and in this column of frequency, the maximum value is 129. So this is the mod value from the series. So 1 to 9 can be substituted here. So divide by 8.96. Now you can calculate the coefficient of skewness, that is negative 0.228. So this is the Karl Pearson's coefficient of skewness formula for calculating skewness or the coefficient of skewness. Remember, this series is not a continuous series. This is the series containing discrete values. So if the discrete values are given, so the question is like this: calculate Karl Pearson coefficient of skewness for the following data. Profit is given. Profit in lakhs is given to us. And in the second column, we have a frequency column. So F is there, profit is there. Now profit is in the interval 70 to 80. In the interval 70 to 80, we have frequency value 12. Then 80 to 90, we have 18. Then 90 to 100, we have 35. Then 100 to 110, we have the value 42. 110 to 120, we have the value 50. 120 to 130, we have the value 45. And 130 to 140, we have value 30. And 140 to 150, we have value 8. Remember, this is a continuous series. The previous one was a discrete series. So this is the question for a continuous data series. Now, for this we require x. X will be the mid value. So the mid value of the interval can be calculated, and it come out to be the mid value of 70 and 80. So 70 plus 80 divided by 2. So it come out to be 75. 80 plus 90 divided by 2. You will have 85, 95, 105, 115, 125, 135, and 145. So these are the values of x. Now again, you can use the change of origin and change of scale formula. So by the formula, we can calculate d. So d will be x minus. You can take the assumed mean. So a can be written. It is divided by I. I is the difference between the interval value. So 70 to 80, the difference is of 10. So this is your value of I. Now you can use this formula. Then you require FD and FD square column. So first of all, calculate D. So putting the values of X in this formula and using assumed mean. Now let us pose, sorry, let us pose the value of assumed mean in this. So this is 1, 2, 3. This is a 1, 2, 3. Again, we have to choose between, we have to choose between the mid values. So 75, 85, 95, and 145, 135, 125. You have to choose in between these. So either you choose 105 because it is the assumed mean, or you can choose 115. So here, suppose I choose assumed mean as 115. I is 10 here. Now let us calculate them. So this is x minus 115 upon 10. So use this technique to calculate the values. So it come out of minus 4, minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, and 3. You can calculate the sum total of the frequency values also. So the sum total is 240. This is the sum total of the frequencies. And now you can multiply f with the d column. So 12 into minus 4 will give you minus 48, minus 54, minus 70, minus 42, 0, 45, 60, and 24. And it come out to be sigma of fd can be calculated. This will be the sum total. It come out to be minus 85. Now you can calculate fd square. So 192, 162, 140, 42, 0, 45, 120, and the last value is 72. And the sum total come out to be sigma fd square, that is 773. Now you can calculate the coefficient of skewness, that is denoted by sk. That will be the formula mean minus mod upon sigma. So we require mod to be calculated and mean to be calculated. Similarly, sigma we need to calculate. Now let us calculate mean. Mean, the formula is same as we have discussed in the previous question. So by using this formula, this come out to be 115 minus 80 minus 85 divided by 240 into 10. So use this formula, you will have the value 111.6. Now you can calculate a mod. Remember, this is a continuous series. So in the continuous series, mod is to be calculated by the formula. Sorry, the formula for calculating mod is that is L plus delta 1 upon delta 1 plus delta 2 into I. This is the formula for calculating mod. Now, first of all, by inspection, we need to select the model class. The model class will be selected corresponding to the maximum frequency. And the maximum frequency, just see the frequency values. The maximum frequency is 50, and corresponding to this, the model class will be 110 to 120. So by inspection, mod lies in the interval 110 to 120. Now, what is L? It is clear, and this is 110, the lower value of this interval. And your delta 1 is to be calculated by using the formula, the frequency, the maximum frequency, and its preceding frequency. So difference between 50 and the preceding frequency 42. So it is to be taken as delta 1, but we require absolute value. So for that we require mod. Similarly, we can calculate delta 2 also. Delta 2 will be the difference between the maximum frequency or the frequency corresponding to model class and its next frequency, that is 45, or the succeeding frequency So the difference between 45 and 50, we require absolute value, that is 5. And you can use the values here. So mod is to be calculated by 110 plus 8 upon 8 plus 5 into 10. So using this formula, the value of Mufti is 116.15. Now you can also calculate the value of small sigma, that is the standard deviation, and the formula has also been used in the previous question. So sigma fd square upon n minus sigma fd upon n whole square into I. I is out of the square root. So you can substitute the values here. Sigma fd square is 773 upon 240. You see, this is sigma fd square, and sigma fd is negative 85. So put the value here. So negative 85 upon 240 square into 10. So by using the values and calculate, you will have the value of a small sigma, that is 17.595. Now you can put the values in this formula and calculate the coefficient of skewness. So 111.46 minus 116.15 divided by 17.595. So you will have a negative value 0.266. Remember, if we have negative value of coefficient of skewness, then we can say that the distribution is negatively skewed. The distribution is negatively skewed. But if we have a positive value, we can say that the distribution is positively skewed. In the next question, we can calculate the value of a coefficient of skewness by the formula of Bolle's coefficient. So we have the formula of Bolle's coefficient. Again, the formula can be used for a discrete data series and a continuous data series. So first of all, let us write down the formula that can be written as SK and as a subscript capital B. This is the formula Q3 plus Q1 third quartile plus first quartile minus 2 times median and divided by third quartile minus first quartile. So in this question, we need to calculate quartiles also. Quartiles. We need to calculate quartiles. So the question is, find Bolle's coefficient of skewness for the following frequency distribution. And the frequency distribution is number of children per family are given to us. This is the data. And the next one is number of families. So the number of families is denoted by a small f, and the number of children per family are denoted by x, either by capital or by small. You can use any one. So 0 children are having 7 families. 7 families having no children, and 1 child. 10 families का एक children है, and 2 children है 16 families के. Similarly, 3 बच्चे हैं 25 families के, and 18 families have 4 children each. Similarly, 11 families have 5 children each, and 8 families have 6 children each. Here, we require to calculate quartiles. So the formula for the first quartile is Q1, that is Remember, this is the discrete data series. You can write down discrete series is there. So Q1, this is the first quartile size of n plus 1 over fourth item. This is the way to calculate. But what is capital N? Capital N will be calculated with the help of cumulative frequency. Now the cumulative frequency will be calculated as 7 as it is. 7 plus 10 will give you 17. 17 plus 16 will give you 33. 33 plus 25 will give you 58. 58 plus 18 will give you 76. 76 plus 11 will give you 87. 87 plus 8 will give you 95. And this is your capital N. The last value of the cumulative frequency is your capital N. So it means size of capital N is 95 plus 1 upon fourth item. Remember, 95 plus 1 is 96. So 96 upon 4 is 24th item. Now you just see how to calculate 24, and you see the frequency 24. 24 is a lying. Just see the frequency is 7, 10, 16, and 25. Now the according to this, the frequency 24 is lying in this cumulative frequency. You will see the cumulative frequency. So your value 24th item will lie in this. Always take, if we have the value, suppose we have the value for 40th item, so 40th item will lie here. So if we have the value, suppose 75, so 75 will always lie in 75. 75 will always lie in this 76. So corresponding to that, you will have value 4. So here, size of a 24th item will be calculated according to 33. 33 ke corresponding value, the number of children are 2. So the first quartiles have value 2. Similarly, you can calculate Q3, the third quartile, size of n plus 1 upon 4. But here, because we are calculating uh, third quartile, you need to multiply it with 3. So size of a third quartile is 3 into 96 upon fourth item. So that come out to be 72nd, 72nd item, not third, second. So item. So 72 frequency is lying in this 76, and corresponding to this we have the children 4. So third quartile has value 3. So this is the way for calculating quartiles. Now you can calculate a median also. And the median will be the middle of the value. So size of n plus 1 upon 2th item. So it should come out to be clearly 95 plus 1 upon 2. That is 48th item. So the 48th item is lying in this cumulative frequency, and corresponding to this we have 3. So this is the median value. Now you can calculate Borlase coefficient of skewness by putting the values, and the values will be used here. and your Bolles coefficient come out to be 0. So if 0 is there, it means there is no skewness. This is the meaning when we are getting the coefficient skewness as 0. So let us move further. When the data values are in the form of continuous data, so in that case, we have to calculate Bolles coefficient, and the question will be calculate Bolles coefficient of skewness for the following data value. The variable is given and the frequency is given. So from 0 to 10, we have the frequency 12. From 10 to 20, we have frequency 16. 20 to 30, that is 26. 30 to 40, we have 38. 40 to 50, we have 22, and 50 to 60, we have the value 15. 60 to 70, we have the value 7, and the last class interval is 70 to 80, we are having value of frequency 4. And from the table, we can calculate cumulative frequency also. You know the technique for calculating cumulative frequency as we have done in the previous question. So this is 54, 92, 114, 129, that is 136 and 140. Obviously, it is your capital N. Now you can calculate the values one by one. The first one is the first quartile. So size of n upon fourth item. Now remember how we can use the formula. Here we are taking n upon 4, and in the last question we have taken the formula n plus 1 upon 4. Why so? Why we are doing this? This is this is depending upon the number of values. The number of values in the this question was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if we have odd number of values, data values, then we will use n plus 1 upon 4 in the case of quartiles, and in the case of median also n plus 1 upon 2. But if we have even number of values, like in this question, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we can use this formula directly. Size of n over fourth item. So 140 upon 4, it come out to be 35th item, and your 35 falls under sorry, your 35th item falls under this frequency 54. So corresponding to this is your cumulative frequency, and the frequency is 26, and your class interval is 20 to 30. So this is important. And the formula for calculating Q1 in that case is L plus n upon 4 minus cumulative frequency divided by frequency into I. So let us put the value. Class interval is 20 to 30. Lower value is 20, and n over 4 come out to be 35 minus your cumulative frequency. Cumulative frequency of preceding value will be used here. Remember. So the preceding cumulative frequency will be used, and corresponding, remember, क्यूमुलेटिव फ्रीक्वेंसी लास्ट वाली यूज होगी पिछली वाली, और लेकिन फ्रीक्वेंसी जो डिनोमिनेटर में यूज करनी है वो यही यूज होगी, दैट इज 26 into I. I is the difference between the class interval, that is 10. So this is the formula of calculating Q1, and come out to be 22.69. Similarly, you can calculate Q3. So size of Cn upon 4 item, because third quartiles we are finding. Remember, the total quartiles are Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. So maximum 4 quartiles can be found. Quartiles are actually the fourth value. That is why we divide by 4. So that is 3 into 140 divided by 4. It come out to be 105. Now for 105, we can have the frequency, that is 114. This one. This is your 114, because this value lies in this cumulative frequency, and the corresponding class interval is this, and your frequency is this. So this is your small f. Your value of L is 40, and your cumulative frequency will be preceding frequency 92. Use the formula L plus Tn upon 4. Remember, Q1 is for first quartile, so n by 4. Q3 is third quartile, so 3n upon 4. This is minus cumulative frequency upon frequency into I. I is the difference between the class intervals. So you can put the values here. That is 40 plus this value is 105 minus preceding frequency, cumulative frequency is 92 divided by 22 into 10. So by using this formula, the third quartile is 45.91. In the similar manner, we can find the median. Median is size of n by 2th item. The same technique is to be used for the case of median, but divide by 2 will be there in place of divide by 4. So that will be 140 upon 2 is 70th item, and corresponding to 70th item we will have the class interval. So 70th item will fall in this 92, and your class interval is 30 to 40, and your value of median will be calculated, that is L plus n over 2 minus Cf upon frequency into I. So put the value. L is 30 plus 70 minus the frequency, cumulative frequency will be used. So here you are having 70. 70 are lying in this. So preceding cumulative frequency will be used, that is 54, and it is divided by 38 into 10. So this is the formula for calculating median value, that is 34.21. So we have the coefficient of skewness, that is SKB, and you can use the formula Q3 plus Q1 Q3 plus Q1 minus 2 times median, and divide by Q3 minus Q1. So use the values in this: 45.91 plus 22.69 minus 2 times 34.21, and 45.91 minus 22.69. So you will have the value 0.008. Obviously, it is a positive value, so it means the data series is positively skewed. Now, this is the way by which we can find out the coefficient of skewness. So the coefficient of skewness can be calculated by the help of Bowley's formula or Karl Pearson's coefficient of skewness formula. So if we want to use the formula for Cayley or Cayley's coefficient of skewness, now the Cayley's coefficient of skewness, the formula is Cayley's coefficient of skewness. The formula for Cayley's coefficient of skewness for measuring the skewness is, this is the formula SKK, that is the 10th percentile plus 90th percentile minus 2 times median and divide by 90th percentile minus 10th percentile. You know, you are well aware with the meaning of percentile. Similarly, this formula is also equivalent to first decile. This is important. D for decile plus a 9th decile minus 2 times median, and it is divided by 9th decile minus first decile. So the coefficient of skewness can also be calculated by this formula. And let us, I will calculate. I will calculate the coefficient of skewness by Cayley formula with the help of deciles. So let us do that with the help of deciles, how we can calculate the value of a coefficient of skewness.